What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and today's ladder story is between everybody's favorite Artosis, playing here in the mid-right position on Dominator. We have a Terran versus Zerg for you, and his opponent is a barcoded Zerg. Players use barcodes for various reasons, anonymity, smurfing. Don't know why this chap is using it, but we will find out perhaps during the course of this cast, or perhaps we won't. We will have to see. Very much enjoying the Terran versus Zerg matchups recently, and RT's been pretty much sticking to the SK Terran variety of style, but bringing in the odd battle cruiser, bringing in the odd nuke, definitely mixing it up a bit. I've actually done a couple where he's been cheesing, 8-raxing and applying early pressure, which has been very cool to see. The cheese games come out once a week on a Wednesday, so this is a new initiative that we have brought to the channel. Instead of doing cheese compilations, you can just get sort of a weekly dose of cheese on a Wednesday, and for the time being, we're just featuring Artosis games for no other reason than he gets cheesed more than most, right? So it is a lot of fun to see what interesting cheeses are done to him, but to his credit, he's also doing his own cheeses and his own rushes, and has been doing so pretty nicely. So do subscribe to the channel if that's something you would like to see, or if you also are an enjoyer of the macro game type styles that you will probably end up seeing today. So we have a standard 12, 11, 10 from our Zerg, so a 12 hatchery, a 11 spawning pool, and a 10 extractor, and then we get a couple more drones. Artosis has taken an early gas, guys, so he's not going to be letting me down. He's going to be doing something fun and different, and that is a factory, a 2 minutes 28 second factory, which is unbelievably good. For regular viewers of the channel, you know how I have been going on in his TVPs on the timing of his factory being suboptimal when it's 233, 234. I've never, ever seen him get a 228 second factory. It is right side mining, which does help a little bit, but that doesn't take anything away from the fact that that is really, really excellent. It also means that we're going to be getting some kind of mech play from Artie, which I must admit, I don't think I've ever seen him do. I don't remember him doing so in recent times anyway. And our opponent, our Zerg opponent, doesn't actually know what to expect here, because his drone came in, took a few hits, and left the building. And so I'm not familiar with this build order. I do see one on gas, so I think he wants to expand and then start. So it's a vulture opening initially. Yep, okay, so he does expand. We should see the transfer of workers back onto gas now pretty quickly. Pretty quickly. Okay. I think we've possibly missed a trick here. Maybe I've misunderstood, or maybe I haven't misunderstood, but generally you have them on. There we go. Okay, just a little delay, but we got there. Vulture's coming through here, and looks like he actually might get some damage done, because our Zerg does not know that it is a mech opening, and boom. Oh, 1 hit point. Okay, so he does get a drone. How good is Artie's micro here? Nice. I still think this Vulture doesn't have a single. Oh, he's got 1 hit on him. Gets another ling. And another ling. That's like a micro masterclass from the man. Look at this. Another drone. Does get a bit of a surround here with the lings. Oh, that was excellent, though. Definitely a profitable open. Does now throw down the sunken. Second factory on the way. Armory. So it looks like it's going to be a Goliath opening from Artie. And this is pretty strong. I mean, I must admit, I have done games where Terran goes, oh shit. Sorry, not where Terran goes, oh shit. I wasn't expecting the ling run by. I was in a bit of a daydream. Suddenly the ling counterattack. Uh-oh. This is painful. But he does have vultures, which are the absolute perfect weapon against lings. So I don't think he's going to get much done here. I think he would have just been caught by surprise. I know I was, and I'm not even playing the game. Okay, so the SCV does the job there. Well done, Steve. And we have got a bunker with nothing in it. We're going to throw our marine in there now. We're making an eBay. We are getting Goliath upgrade. So it's going to be Goliaths. And our Zerg is still going to stick with mutas. So that seems to be the way to go. And RT kind of just went in to probably confirm that it is mutas and not maybe something like lurkers or whatever. So I think that's why he sacked that SCV. And his vultures should have mines at the stage. Let's see. No mines in the packet. In the pocket. Packet. He's getting burrow, interestingly enough, our Zerg. A very undervalued spell in many ways. Also upgrading flyer attacks. So definitely sees a commitment to mutas. Needing to try and go head to head with our Goliaths. We are making some turrets. So hedging our bets here between Goliaths and turret defense. Unfortunately has to lift off there. Not optimal, but such is life. Here could do come our first few mutas. And they are going to get pummeled to high heaven here. And we are just be chilling. I mean, our vultures are probably just scouting for lack of any other benefit for the time being. Third hatchery on the way. Our Zerg thinking that these couple of mutas perhaps affording him a little bit of map control. I wouldn't see that as the case though. I would see Artosis getting to about 8, possibly 10 Goliaths and moving out onto the map. What I was trying to say earlier before the Ling snuck up on me is when I've seen good players, various good Terran players like Light and Scan and Flash play Mech, they make it look devastating to the point where I couldn't imagine why a Terran would do anything else. But obviously it's not the best way to play this match, because if it was, it is all you would see. And that is not the case. My apologies, I am a little bit under the weather, so I am still trying to cast while being a little bit sick. Every now and again, that is going to impact my voice, or God forbid, you're going to hear me sniff, which is freaking irritating, and I apologize in advance for that. Alright, so we do have 7. 7 seems to be the lucky number. And we do pick off a Midlisk. And now it's going to be a challenge for our Zerg to hold these Goliaths off, and the solution does seem to be Sunkets. We're getting an academy behind this. That can be one of 2 reasons. We are going to transition into Bio, or we're going to get a Valkyrie. We'll have to keep an eye on what he builds after this. Gets a drone. Really doesn't have much here, does our Zerg. And yet somehow... Was I dreaming? Did you guys see that? Like 5 Goliaths basically evaporated. Holy crap. I thought the Goliaths would be much stronger there. That went horribly. Holy cow. Steve the SCV will scout that he does have a 3rd base over here. Not much you can do about it though, to be honest. Kind of flying through, taking a lot of shots. Does get that 1 SCV for his trouble though. And that's about it. So where are we in this match? We've got 43 SCVs and we're just about even on supply with our Zerg. We've got a lot of money for some reason. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 factories. We are not yet gearing up to take a 3rd ourselves. We are now getting faster vulture movement. So are we going to start to get some tanks? We wouldn't really adding machine shops if we didn't need tanks. So I expect he's now going full mech. I also see the starport now for the first time. Very curious to see what tech he's going to go with from the starport. If it's going to be vessels, or it's going to be Goliaths, if it's going to be drop ships, some mix. So we'll keep an eye on the production tab, see what he's up to. Seems to be keen now just to establish a 3rd, and he just does so on location. And he's also making a turret proactively here, which I like. Pretty tight game this. Both players definitely very much in it. A lot of the decision making around the tech and the unit comps will kind of dictate how this game goes. While we have a quiet lull in the game, I just want to say thank you everyone to all of the recent support. I do labor the fact that I'm trying to hit a subscriber goal by the end of this year of 1,000. And ever since I've started mentioning that, the subscriber uptick has been noticeably good. So thank you to all of those who have subscribed. If you do like what you see today, or are a regular viewer and you haven't yet subscribed, please do. It's very much appreciated in my endeavor to hit my goal for this year. So we're flying around, we're zooming around, probably the more appropriate word, with our vultures. Just to kind of confirm that it's only a 3-basing Zerg for the time being. And 3-basing Zerg versus 3-basing Terran. Usually the Terran is in a commanding position. The Zerg has got to be up at least 1 base to stay kind of on parity. The mines finally hit the field. Not with the goal probably of wrecking too many things, but more just visibility, scouting information. Very handy to have the mines here. You can track this big whack of mutas. It's got a lot here. This is just like Mega Muta Man. And he's also getting missile attacks and Hydras. He's going to go Hydra Muta. That's interesting. But, that being said, you are coached that when your opponent goes Mech in this match, to play as if you're playing against a Protoss and make Hydras. So Zerg is doing what is recommended here. And gets a decent amount of damage there, but Archie does fend it off without too much of a hassle. By the way, I'm using the zoom function because I realize a lot of people will watch on mobile. And from the far away, or just sort of default view, it's pretty difficult to see things. I mean, I rewatch the replays on a big flat screen TV, but obviously not everybody does. So trying to just accommodate the fact that you're not going to see a hell of a lot from sort of this vantage point. So we try and zoom in a little bit as much as we can. This is a lot of turrets. So having seen mutas and mutas only, I think the right counter here is definitely vessels. So he's going Vessel Goliath. And that's all he seems to be making. 7 Hydras in the production tab. Irradiate, I think, is going to be a big difference maker. And that's perhaps what will force the pivot from the Zerg. It's a lot of Goliaths in one place, man. Like mech time, let's go! Dun, 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 dun. I wonder if Goliaths ever sound like they're starting to squeak because their legs need to be oiled. It's a good question. I shall ponder that one. So we've added a base. We have 1 drone here, though. And a very confused Hydralisk. Okay, he's finally calmed down. Did scan. We saw the little blue there. And is sending out some units to try and press this position. Almost in immediate response to that. The Hydras, though, have sensed this. And we look like we're going to have a little engagement here of Hydras and Goliaths. And Zerg decides, nope, I don't have the critical mass here. I'm going to go. So 153 plays 121. It's a pretty juicy fight to look forward to here, actually. There's a free Overlord. Diving on our main again. And our depot station. So both players are supply blocked, hilariously enough. Another free Overlord. I've never seen that. Both red. That's so funny. This is way too much. Plus the irradiates. No way, bro. How are you fighting this with mutas? Not making more mutas, though. Sending in his irradiated friends to join the party. Artie seems to be wanting to pressure the space, which I think is very, very exposed as he scans to confirm there's nothing here, no lurkers. By the way, you can make lurkers in this match, Mr. Zerg. Although, arguably it isn't the best option. So these units are kind of splitting off from each other, kind of not. Not too many hydras here though, and these bases are very close together. So army's getting a little untangled here from an Artosis point of view. The Goliaths got surrounded that were on the ramp, and they got pretty much evaporated. And now the hydras are getting up here and stuck on the ramp together, like dancing on top of each other. Not optimal from a Zerg point of view, so Artie will be loving taking this fight. But I think that he's going to get enough hydras up here to actually tidy this up. And so that's the last Goliath dealt with. But he's gone right down to 86 supplies. So I think if Archie just reloads and continues to press, he should get some good cut through here. I think he could probably involve these Goliaths, considering the number of turrets. That being said, hydras are... I presume he just thought there was a base here. Just went here in case. Also could just be wanting to press from this position. So if we just zoom out, he's kind of just has to walk up here and around to put some pressure on. So he's got a little cluster of units here and a little cluster of units here. We will get ourselves back into a good vantage point. So we're getting some tanks. Just to, now that there's hydras in the game, siege tanks are a very good counter to mass hydra. And we are taking our 4th base. And this has been a very solid macro game from RT. I think he's played this build really well. Watch out for these mines, Mr. Hydra. Ooh, okay. Actually picks those mines off both pretty well. Another big wave. And this Zerg's macro is pretty strong. He went from 80 supply to 126 pretty quickly. And Zerg can almost always go toe-to-toe with Terran with fewer supply. This is a lot of hydras. A couple of vultures that won't really fare well against hydras intercepting here. Probably going to lay a few mines. Siege tanks now finally making their presence known in the game. Just posturing around here is Mr. Barcode. His supply is flying up really quickly though. I mean, this is a lot of hydras. Taking another base. Poised to potentially just monitor that RT doesn't expand here. And just trying to control the middle of the map. Waiting for an optimal engagement. Oh my god, look at all this. There's some lings in amongst here? Yeah, there's a handful. Okay, that's just a lot of brown. Picks off another overlord. So building up to this big engagement, where is the fight going to be is the question. Still, he's gotten away with doing very little to protect this base. Here we go. Looks like he's going to pick off these couple of tanks pretty fast. Vultures here coming to intercept. Is this his entire strike force? Difficult to tell. There's some tanks here unsieged. He does siege them up now. And the supplies are getting... I was going to say closer together, but it looks like they're kind of trading pretty evenly. Yeah. Already held on there really nicely. I didn't see the Zerg getting much by way of cut through. This potentially being RT's next base if this game does drag on. Maybe now adding some lings to the equation is getting crackling. Adrenal, should I say. Defilers as well. I don't think too many more of those types of engagements are going to work for our Zerg. And Artosis is getting up a bit of a bank here. So if he does trade out a big part of his army, he should be able to restock pretty fast. A lot of factories. So does have a poke around here with vultures. And now they're kind of all just looking at each other. Gonna tidy that up. Artosis is now deciding to press. I think he's got the bank. He's got the units. Uh-oh. Some spawn broodlings have arrived. Picked off a fair few tanks there, nicely. And I like this for Artie. I think he's progressed with his comp really nicely in this game. And the Goliaths are just shredding through here. And while you can spawn broodlings a few times, which he's done, admittedly, the queens will die. Oh, they spawns again. You can only do that a few times, and queens are expensive in supply. Lays a few mines here. Just an inverted commas zealot bomb would just be majestic, wouldn't it? Picking up these laboring or lingering queens. And I think it's just time to press advantage here. I don't see any reason for Artie to slow down. Sending in the vultures here to try and get in amongst the drone line. Goliath tanking ahead, giving sighting to the siege tanks. And our Zerg is going to lose potentially all of his key tech here. So while the mining base in of itself isn't the valuable target, Zerg does attempt a little bit of a flank here with Hydras. So you can see from the side. There's a few mines that are slowing him down. No real meaningful mine hits though. But the Hydras are just not able to get on top of the tanks. And RT has absolutely shredded this guy. He has done a mech build and he has pulled it off beautifully. Very solid macro, very solid basics, and a very good clean win. So can't fault RT at all today. He did something different. I did say in the introduction that he plays SK Terran almost exclusively, so immediately I have to eat my hat, as they say, because he goes mech. And he played mech really, really well here. This was an absolute masterclass. Great game. So guys, I'll be around again very soon with some more games for you to look forward to. I hope you enjoyed today's game. If you do, please hit a like and give me some feedback on the video. Until next time, take it easy and I'll see you soon.